Hello and welcome back to my channel. Soulplay here, and we are in Disney's Dreamlight Valley. And today we have some forgotten relics. And to begin with, we need to find them in Mickey's house. It looks like there's one on the coffee table. And we found an alien. At this point, you guys have already seen the one with Buzz, but these are, I apologize, a little out of order. Now let's see here. A book of fairy tales. It's positively saturated with dark magic. It must have been the Forgottens once. There's no other explanation. We've got something that belonged to the Forgotten? What's next? I'm afraid for this enchantment, we'll need at least 3 more Forgotten relics, just like this. Will they look just like this one? Where do I find them? Sounds like a wild goose chase. You must keep your eye out for more places where dark magic is seeping through into our world. They could be anywhere in the village. Some of the relics might be quite special, others more mundane, but they all have dark magic emanating from them, just like this one does. Got it, find the relics, save the village, all in a day's work. That's not all. We also must obtain the story behind each relic. Stories hold a magic all their own, Yuna. Uncover the stories and you'll be able to harness the magic. You must discover why these things were of such importance to the Forgotten. You found the first one in Mickey's house. Perhaps Mickey knows the story behind it. I'll look around the village and go talk to Mickey. Thanks, Merlin. Well, Mickey's right there, so let's go. Things around the village aren't looking so good. I know. Those cracks in the sky are pretty scary. Is there anything I can do to help? Keep on scratching, Mickey. Maybe you can. Does this look familiar? A book of fairy tales? You betcha. That's been in my house for just about as long as I can remember. We think it once belonged to the Forgotten. Do you know the story behind it? It's funny, now that you show it to me, I'm remembering everything. Well, that's convenient. When you were just a little kid, we read this together. At first, I'd read it to you, and then one day, all of a sudden, you were old enough to read it to me. That's the way it happens. Oh, and sometimes we just make up our own stories to go along with the pictures. That's always fun too. I wish I could remember this. It's a pretty special book. Lots of stories about brave heroics and evil villains. And everything comes out right, just in time for the happily ever after. Maybe we can read it together again sometime. I wish things were really that simple. Sounds kind of boring. Needs some more action. Oh, I'd love that. We haven't read together since... Hey, now that I think about it, the last time we read this together was right before the forgetting. But, gosh, that wasn't really you, was it? It was the Forgotten. I don't know, this is getting complicated. They left the book with me. They seemed pretty mad. But I think deep down inside, they were really sad about something. Gee, I hope you can help the Forgotten out. Mickey, the storybook, the magic coming off of it is stronger than ever. You've done a lot to help. Now I'll do my part to try and save the Forgotten.
Thanks, pal.
The storybook is complete. He's so cute sitting in the chair. Okay, let's talk to Olaf. Yuna, I'm so glad you're here. I don't want to alarm you, but I've noticed that the village seems to be, broken. The sky looks angry. Unfortunately, my arms aren't long enough to give it a hug. Aw, Olaf, it's okay. I was hoping you could help me with all that. Me? Oh, I love to help. Wait, how am I supposed to help? I found a blanket in the secret chamber. I think it belonged to the Forgotten. Do you know anything about it? The fuzzy cuddly blanket? You found it, hooray! But I don't know too much about it. Well, anything will help, Olaf. But I do know who might. Elsa, I remember it from her room at the castle. Of course, she doesn't get cold, but I think she just likes being cozy sometimes. Don't we all? She has to know the story behind that blanket. Thanks, Olaf. I guess I'll have to go talk to Elsa if we're to have any hope of stopping the Forgotten. And in the meantime, I'll just find and categorize all the different kinds of rocks in the village. Great plan. I thought so. Good job, Olaf. Keep yourself busy. I'm calling it controlling what I can when things feel out of control. It's a good way to be. Yuna, I've seen what's going on in the sky over the village. If there's any way I can help, you only have to ask. Maybe you can make an ice shield around the village. Just keep being you, Elsa. That's all we need. That's nice of you to say, but I just can't stand by and watch the village come apart around us. Well, I know there's one way you can definitely help. Take a look at this. It's a blanket. Does it look familiar? Oh, it does look familiar, from a long time ago. We think it belonged to the Forgotten. We need to know the story behind it. It's funny, just a second ago, it was like my memory of this were covered over by a mist. But then, I looked at you and thought of our friendship and the adventures we've gone on together, and I remembered I gave this to you. You were just a child then. You wanted to explore the ice cavern with me. But it was so cold in there, so I brought you my favorite blanket from home. And when the Forgotten split off, well, I guess they held on to it until they dropped it in the secret chamber. I wish I could remember this, but I guess the Forgotten has some of those memories. Well, I hope you can help pull the Forgotten back from the edge before it's too late. And if you do manage to bring them back, well, maybe I can talk to them. I know what it's like to go too far. Thanks, Elsa. That's all I need for now. The magic coming off of the blanket seems stronger already.
Goodbye.
And the blanket is complete. Ah, beach toys. Alright, that looks like the next relic. And here's Ursula. What does she have to say? Have you finally come to ask for my help? You're right, I do need your help. Take a look. What is this rubble you're handing me? If you're looking to trade, you'll need to find something far better than this. I found those beach toys in the same cave that I freed you from. I think they used to belong to the Forgotten. Do you remember them? These might be the key to saving Dreamlight Valley. Now that you mention it, they do look a tad familiar. I'll tell you about them, and it'll cost you a simple commendation. I hear everyone else around here are receiving them too. Don't I deserve some accolades too? Nobody's better at making deals. I'm afraid of you, but in a good way. And don't you forget it, I always come out on top. Now then, those trinkets. You used to play with them as a child. You and Moana. Moana, of course. I'll go talk to Moana. And Yuna, when you find the Forgotten and stop this little scheme, tell them to come see me. I can teach them a thing or two about getting what they want. I'm sure you can, Ursula. Alright, let's go find Moana. Let's take care of this too. Can't have those laying around. There she is. Hey Moana, I've got something I need you to look at. Sure, Yuna. Oh, what are these? Toys? Are you sure you want to play in the sand? Shouldn't you be saving the valley? Why not both? I hope I never stop wanting to play, even if things are bad. These toys are the key to saving the village. Sassy. What do you mean? I think these toys used to belong to the Forgotten. I was hoping you might remember them. They do look familiar. But it's like a fog rolled in over my memories of them. Focus on your memories of me. Pretend you're in a canoe sailing through the fog. Don't worry, the memories will come back. Just think about everything we've gone through together and all the memories you've recovered so far. Whoa, that is so strange. The moment you said that, I remembered. I do remember these. You and I used to play with them when you were just a little kid. It reminded me of when I was small and played in the sand with my grandma Tala. How did they wind up in that cave? Well, one day I asked you if you wanted to play, and it was like you couldn't hear me, as if you were really far away. That wasn't you anymore, was it? It was the Forgotten. They threw these toys away in the cave and ran off. I was confused and pretty sad. It wasn't like you to do something like that. Maybe not, but the Forgotten is part of me. That kid who played on the beach with you, that part of me is in there somewhere. Well, you were an amazing kid. If that's the part of you that became the Forgotten, I hope there's still some way to save them. Oh, that's so sweet.
See you soon.
Beach toys are complete. Thank you, Kristoff. My goodness. Oh, and a chest. Let's turn these on. It's a little dark in here, or out here. And let's go see what Scar has to say. Oh, what's this? It's a picture of a lion. It kind of looked cute. The drawing. Let's go find Scar. And as we're exiting his cave, he is right there. Ah, Yuna, just who I was thinking of. By my estimation, you're doing a rather poor job of ruling over this valley. Why, it looks like to me the sky is falling in. I'm sorry, Scar. I'm sorry. Are you sure you wouldn't be happier with someone more cunning in charge? Oh, this conversation again. Nice try, Scar. I'll think about it, but you have to help me first. Someone like Mufasa? Oh, he didn't like that. Look at those angry eyes. Oh, right, sorry. Well, if you haven't come all this way just to insult me, what do you want? I found something in your cave. I think it used to belong to the Forgotten. It might be the key to stopping the Forgotten's plans. Do you know the story behind it? ... No, I've never seen it before. Oh, he's angry. Are you sure? Maybe the forgetting's gotten to you. I recall far too much for that to have happened. Besides, why would I want to remember such a hideous, charmless image of me? Why, indeed. Ah, so you admit it is a drawing of you. ... Please, Scar, this might be the only way to stop the Forgotten and save the valley. Fine. If I must, to ensure I have a kingdom left to rule over then, I'll tell you. And I suppose you are the closest thing I have to, well, to someone I tolerate. You made this for me, Yuna, when you were just a cub. Well, thanks for the compliment, Scar. It hardly captures my likeness, but I admit I found it rather nice to receive a gift, even such a pitiful one. I've kept it ever since. Thanks, Scar. Your story might help me stop the Forgotten. Do have a bit of mercy for the Forgotten. Oh, he's got a soft side. Imagine what they must think watching you rule over all that the light touches while they are consigned to the shadows. It must be rough. I know all too well how that feels. Oh, goodness. Personal stories. The Forgotten Relics is complete. Oh, and they're all complete. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and we have completed the Forgotten Relics and learned a little bit more about the Forgotten. Have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next video. This is Soulplay, signing off.